Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are watching and listening to The Alert Factor. I am Nancy Allard, and welcome to the show today. Today, we're going to be talking about, it's the end of the year, right? It's December. This show is everything real estate, investment, luxury, lifestyle. Today, we're going to focus on investments. We're going to talk about, my favorite topic, multifamily units. We're going to talk about stocks. We're going to talk about different types of investments because it's the end of the year and we want to start planning for 2024 so that 2024 will truly be your best year ever. And in order for it to be your best year ever, we have to do some preparation. We have to have some strategies. We have to, because if you don't have any strategies, you're not doing anything, right? Because you're just faking it. You're just walking through life hoping things are gonna happen for you instead of to you. So we're going to give you a few strategies. We're going to talk about some things. We're going to let you know about what we have going on in 2024 that can help you in your business. If you're thinking about starting a business, if you're thinking about jumping into stocks investment, if you're thinking about jumping into the real estate investment, whatever you're thinking about, starting up in 2024, we might have some answers for you today, or we can invite you to one of the many webinars and seminars and workshops that we have throughout the year that help you to start and create a sustainable business. Because it is very important if you're starting a business that you started right, you started correct from the beginning. Because if you don't get that one, I always say, if you don't get that one lawyer at the beginning to help you form it correctly, then you're going to need about three or four of them later on to fix the mess you got into, right? So, what it is, just do it right the first time. And sometimes that's because you don't have the information, right? And what we're here at the Alert Factor is to give you the information so you can make the decisions that you need to make to get your life on the journey, on the track that you want it to be on, right? So remember, we give you the information, but you also have to implement it because education without implementation is just entertainment, right? And we don't just want to entertain you. We want to give you information to help you change your lives. So, like I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago, that November 18th was a game changer day because the Fannie Freddie, they changed the rules. So you no longer have to put 25% down when you're looking to purchase a multifamily unit. 5%. So you got 5% down for conventional financing, 3.5% down if you're using FHA, 0% if you're a VA, if you're a veteran, and 0% if you utilize the program, the NACA program. I've talked about that NACA program forever, right? So if you're looking to purchase an investment property, reach out to me so I can give you all the information so you can decide which direction you're going to go. Are you a veteran? How you can do this? Are you a first time home buyer? This is how you can do it. Do you currently own a home but want to purchase a multifamily unit? We have the answers for you and the lenders that are working with you in the conventional financing arena to do the 5% down. So, whatever you're looking to do, as far as purchasing a multifamily unit or as far as getting into the real estate investment in 2024, this is the time to get started today. Inbox me or reach out to me at IG. I'm the Nancy Allard, THEE, Nancy Allard on Instagram. Or you can always go to my website, thealertfactor.com, and book an appointment with me. So, without any further ado, today, our guest is Miss Jennifer Embry with the Enrichment. And Mrs. Embry, she is going to tell us all about how we can get her lives together, our financial lives, our investment lives, how we can truly start doing what we wanted to do, need to do, should be doing. All right. So it's no longer don't hate the player, hate the game. What we're trying to do for you, well, we don't try. What we're doing for you today is putting you on the road to not hate the player or the game, but to learn the rules of the game so you can participate. Hi, Jennifer. I can't hear you.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I am well. I am well. How are you doing?
I am well. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really like
Yes.
that piece at the beginning when you were talking about that 5% and that important November 18th date. So thank you for sharing. I'll definitely be following up with
Well, yeah, I
a
know you and I are going to
consultation.
be chatting about
Yeah,
some multifamily units because this is what we're going to be doing.
for sure.
We're creating, right? We're creating that passive income, that setting up that generational wealth, and everybody can do it. But let the people know. Tell us all about you, the
So,
enrichment, Jennifer Embry.
I'm Jennifer Embry. I'm the CEO and founder of The Enrichment. It is a co-working space as well as a suite of small businesses based out of Miami. We provide business services. We help with startups, um, basic small business service needs.
Mhm.
And a couple years ago, I started The Enrichment, but I've been an entrepreneur since I was 23. And at a young age,
Yeah, tell us about
um,
that.
yeah, it was most of my family are scholars.
Mhm.
And I started doing 1099 work, contract work in college. And
Mhm.
it allowed a certain freedom that I hadn't seen from my family or people, very successful people around me. They lacked that freedom. And I'm not saying it's for everybody, but it's something I gravitated to because when you work independently, it's important to understand that you have to be self motivated. There's no one waking
There's
you
no
up.
one
There's
there
no one.
like, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do. No, it's you.
You have to be so self motivated, and it doesn't mean that you can't work a 9 to 5. It just means that when you start your business, you need to partner with people who can run that for you or help run that for you, delegate that, or you could just utilize the benefits of having a small business under your umbrella. So I started working with very reputable brands. I toured with Bacardi, mostly luxury products and luxury liquor brands as a marketer. And from there, I got the entrepreneurship bug. So I started opening other companies. And this original company was a marketing company that did staffing, event production, and training. And it's still kicking the day, it's still going. And again, very affluent companies, very reputable companies, globally recognized companies that took a chance on my little company and allowed me to progress. But once you master something, it's time for you to move on to something else.
Mm.
Not necessarily giving that up, but sustaining it to where it can cash flow.
Adding to it. Yeah.
Correct. Where it cash flows and you can, share your gifts with others. So, from my first company, which was called New Rain LLC,
Mhm.
I started the Adora Group. And the Adora Group, it was based mostly on concerts, very large scale events like conferences and things like that. And I got really involved in nonprofit work in Miami, Florida. And from there, that's been my goal. That's been my mission with any company I start, any initiative I take. That self motivation for me is having that purpose or having that passion, having that goal. So it gets to the point where we're of age in life and we're doing pretty good, but something in us says we can do more. We need to do
Mhm.
more. How can I secure an additional bag? Like I have a
Mhm.
bag, I'm
Mhm.
content and satisfied, but there's something in you that want to invest, that
Right.
want to explore a little bit
Right.
more.
Yeah.
And so um,
Want
In
to
my
have that
30s.
mailbox money, right? Want to have, it's
Correct.
about that passive income. It's not necessarily about having three jobs or four jobs. And a lot of people don't understand when we say you should have multiple streams of income, we mean streams of income. We don't mean that you should have eight jobs where you're literally working in
Correct.
it, because you can't do that. And that's what most people do. And they're like, I can't do this. And they get burned out and they're not making any money and they're out there in the streets being crazy because they have literally three jobs where you have to be in it to make money. But what you and I are going to be talking about today is passive income. You do it one
Passive
time, you just get a
income.
check, right?
Yes. So in my mid 30s, I was pretty comfortable, but I was also working. I was
Mhm.
very active. And to your point, I had several projects going on at one time, which is great. But then, you sit back and you say, how can I take what I have and make that work for me?
Mhm.
So I came up with this concept for myself on I need to employ my wealth. I
Mhm.
need to put my money to work for me.
Right.
And not having a lot of experience in investing, not coming from a family of investors who
Mhm.
can break down money markets and real estate. So, so then I knew I had to take the task of self-educating or even investing in myself and investing in mentors that allowed me to learn the ropes, right? And learn things that you can't necessarily Google.
Mhm.
So after a while, I stumbled upon strategies that could not only work for me, that could work for others. And one
Mhm.
of my best friends was the stock market, and still is today, the stock market. Again, it was purpose driven. I was helping vets once they age out, they have to
Mhm.
take their payouts of their
Mhm.
pensions. So I
Mhm.
was helping these vets reinvest their payouts into
Mhm.
cash flowing stocks.
Mhm.
And then I would teach something that was easy for them to
Mhm.
do, but also they would call in their kids and their grandkids. And then we would start not only building their portfolio where it cash flows, but we
Mhm.
would also do something once a month or once every 2 weeks where
Mhm.
they receive additional funds on top of that through stock
Mhm.
options.
Mhm.
So it became a community of very vibrant beginner investors
Mhm.
where they took what they had and they generated perpetual income from what they had. And
And I
I've
like
had
that you
people
did. Go ahead.
I've had people who we would put together a strategy or program. It starts very
Mhm.
simply, like, okay, so you want to take the family on a trip to Disney World? Let's buy some Disney stocks. Let me show you how to flip this to where it'll take care of your family trip. And
Mhm.
when you're project oriented, it becomes less overwhelming. And
Right.
again, when I was in my mid 30s and I'm sitting there seeking help, there's so much information out there. You don't know who to go to. So this need to access this information, I had the bandwidth and I had,
Mhm.
the time to
The
do it, but not everyone
information.
else. Correct. Not everyone else does. I had a good network of people around me. But moving forward, I just decided with every project that I did or whatever payout I did, I needed to reinvest that and make that work for me.
So,
You'd be
so let me ask
surprised.
you this. So, what made you decide that I am going to get in this cash flow business and I'm going to start with helping veterans?
So I didn't really start this for others. What
Right.
happened was my son um, is a little nerd, right? So he
And how
was
old is the little
accepted.
nerd?
Now he's 16, but when
Okay.
he was 10, he was accepted to a um, a financial international finance academy in Miami,
Mhm.
Florida,
Right.
where they separated him from his gifted to go to this annex and learn
Hmm.
about finance. One of the
Wow.
first things they gave them, and again, this was an area that was very affluent And the children there, their parents, their lineage comes from that background, right?
Mhm.
Of understanding of wealth management and money
Right.
markets and portfolios and what have you. So to assist his transition, I did my deep dive in the middle of me real estate investing, wanting that, passive income, my enlightenment journey on how to create wealth. I deep dived so that I would be able to assist him in this
Mhm.
financial institution transition.
Right.
And they gave him a portfolio of about $400,000 of
Mhm.
paper money or money
Uh,
to
mhm.
invest with. And we would find strategies because it was almost like a contest that by the
Mhm.
end of his sixth grade year, he had grown the portfolio by $200,000.
Mhm.
And we would keep practicing this strategy every week or every other
It
week.
was a contest, kind of, because at the end of the school year, they want to see who grossed the most money, so they know
Correct.
that, okay, we need to watch you, right? Because you
Right.
in you know how to make money in the stock market, and this is at the time. How old was he?
He had turned 11.
Oh wow, that is
Yeah.
fantastic.
He had turned 11, and to him, it was like a game. Once we figured
And
out a strategy, it was
mhm.
like a game. And again, he's playing with paper money. So I opened a paper money brokerage and started playing with paper money. And by the time I was paper money grossing more than I made with my companies, I
Mhm.
was like, let me
Wait a minute,
transition
I
this.
might need to make some real money brokerage
Correct.
here.
And so I just used the same strategy. Um, there's an organization called the VFW, which I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
is national,
yeah, it
but in
is.
South Florida, they had stumbled. We had a little a golf community, and they would talk about what are they gonna, because they already had their lives. They like, what am I gonna do with this money that's forcibly being paid out? And I'm like,
Mhm.
well, you should reinvest it. And my mom put me in contact with the person over it, and I just started doing these coaching calls just to
Mhm.
help. And when their children and their children's children started contacting me and was like, hey, can you please do a consultation? I still have my
Mhm.
companies to run. I still have my kids and my family. And I'm like, nope,
Mhm.
I'm only doing it on this night at this hour, be on the call. Or,
That's it.
as that community grew and it started taking more and more time, more strategy, I created a community called Cash Flow Stocks so that
Mhm.
people can, from the beginning, from being a beginner, would understand how to create cash flow in the stock market. So
Right.
that's how it became a mission to give back. Originally, it was just me helping a group of older gentlemen, honestly, to create perpetual income through
Mhm.
money they already had,
Right.
and they didn't even understand their pension. Basically, they really didn't have a very great concept of their portfolio because it's not something that's taught in college. It's not something that's
Right.
taught in high school. It's not something that's taught at work. I
Right.
know plenty of people who have employee stock plans and have no idea what vested is and
Mhm.
what those types of terminologies are. It's Japanese. So just having clear, concise wording, and because I
Mhm.
had started off teaching or learning with a 10-year-old, it was,
Mhm.
and then I have an older generation that's not very technically savvy. I really had to break it down to a level where it was digestible bites where the average person can basically understand. And
Mhm.
it could be overwhelming and daunting when you don't have a strategy. There's so many different ways to make money in the stock market. So my journey started with my kid.
Mhm.
And to this day, we have younger people on there. They have their UMCA accounts, which is something I um, recommend for everyone with children or grandchildren.
What
Get them a
account?
money market. There's a UMCA account. It's
Mhm.
a account for children, minors,
Okay.
a brokerage account for them to um,
Is it
acquire
real
wealth or
money?
accrue. It's definitely real money. So
Okay.
for Christmas gifts or birthday gifts or good grades, you're depositing into that account. This account is different from like a college account because they could do covered calls in there. They could do call options, they get
Okay.
dividends, and
Okay.
it's just an account. They can't really withdraw, and they
Okay.
can't,
But they can
but
buy
they,
and trade stocks.
yes,
Okay,
correct.
that's excellent. That's a great idea. So,
Yeah.
and this is why for the month of December, what all I'm talking about every week in December on the show is investing. It's the education that you give to your children, to your family, so they too can participate in realizing their investment dreams. Because a lot of people want to invest, but they're afraid. It's a lot of
Of
information
course.
and they don't have the information. So I love that you have the information and you were giving the information out free to
Mhm.
the veterans to help them as they're transitioning with their retirement and their insurance and all of that, and how to put it to work for you. Because now you need to put it to work for you. You need to know where to put it so it can really do that good work. Because
Mhm.
now you're retired. You don't want to be losing money. You want to be making more money instead of losing money, right? So you can enjoy that
Correct.
retirement. So I understand that this all started with your 11-year-old son at the time, and it turned into what you
Yeah.
do to make money, and also how you can help others so that they can make money in the stock market. So we're going to talk about stocks, we're going to talk about insurance, and we're going to talk about real estate, because
Mhm.
these are all things that most people are afraid to get involved in because they don't know. And what I would like for them to know is you and I have the answer. We have the information. We do, don't we?
It's
We
true.
have the
Yeah.
information and we want to give you this information. We want to help you create that lifestyle, live, not even create, live the lifestyle that you were born to live, right? You weren't born to be here struggling and thinking about everybody else and thinking, well, they have this and I can't get it because they're this and they're that, and that's why they have it and we can't get it.
Yeah.
So when we come back, we are going to be talking about stocks. We're going to be talking about multifamily. We're going to be talking about insurance. We're going to talk about how you can get involved, how you can start on that journey. But we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Time. It has a different meaning in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It goes backwards, forwards, it stops. St. Croix is rooted in history. So much of it still remains untouched.
I remember running on these streets as a kid. This shop was right down there. It opened the same year I was born. This is where the original Crucian Hook was born. It's the symbol of these islands. And I wanted to have my hands in that very same history. I want to be able to pass it down to my family while still putting a new spin on it.
The U.S. Virgin Islands, we have an amazing culture that developed over time from all over the world.
St. John feels so untouched. Being underwater is like another world. There's no worries, there's no stress. I can just escape. This is my happy place. My passion for scuba diving came at just being fascinated with the water and wanting to be a mermaid. And this is the closest thing I can get to achieving mermaid status. Canadians just love being outdoorsy. We live for adventure, so we love anything hiking, being on the water, diving, snorkeling, and St. John has it all.
It's like some spirit is protecting the island and keeping them raw. The Makujumbi watches over the island. From up there, they keep the evil spirits away. The nightlife in St. Thomas is absolutely amazing. There's always something going on. Everyone comes together to dance and catch a vibe. We're always celebrating. We celebrate freedom, culture, the food, the smell, the music. It's always a celebration. The people here are probably the most priceless thing because they keep the culture going. There's so many different influences on these islands. Food from all kind of countries coming together in new dishes. All of us came from somewhere, but all that we call this home. The VI is a new melting pot. This is where the past and the future comes together.
We're back. You're watching and listening to the Alert Factor. I'm Nancy Allard, and we're with our guest today, Mrs. Jennifer Embry from the Enrichment, and we're talking about everything investment. We're going to give you some information that gets you started in 2024 so you could be on that journey to create some passive income, to get the information, the knowledge that you would need to help you make the decisions, the right decisions, in whether or not you're going to be in the stock market, whether or not you're going to play in the insurance game, whether or not you're going to play in the real estate, single families, condos, or multifamily units. We'll give you the information because at the end of the day, what you need is the correct information, and then you need to action it, right? Because remember, I always say, education without implementation is just entertainment, y'all. So we're not trying to just entertain you, right? Right? If you don't implement it, what's the point? What's the point? You're just entertaining yourself. So what I would like to ask you is, what are cash flow stocks, and what is landlord your stocks? What does that mean?
So landlord your stocks is it's two strategies that we use with our cash flow stocks group. Landlord your stocks started with creating a strategy with a nonprofit. So I have courses with different nonprofits to teach beginners how to start investing in the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
But we did this particular strategy where there were a group of people who had a low entry point but wanted to invest in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So landlord your stocks is two things. One is investing in real estate stocks that provide monthly dividends or monthly payouts. Um, they're called REITs, Real Estate Investment Trust, where they have to pay upwards of 90% of their profits every month, pay it out, not necessarily to the investors, but to expenses and the
Right.
investors. So those people who had low entry points, or to your point, they were afraid and didn't know how to start, would purchase a portfolio of real estate investment stocks and receive a monthly cash flow of those payouts back into their brokerage. And they could decide what they want to do with them. Do they want to reinvest those stocks? Or do they want to actually take that cash flow and pay a bill or two with it? So when we talk about landlording your stocks, that's one thing. But another thing is we do a monthly or weekly payout from call options as well. So stock options, we would basically sell contracts on options that we own, and create these contracts and sell these contracts at a certain price, and that money goes into our account that day, and then we just keep repeating it. So I did landlord your stocks that way.
So that's
Because-
essentially, let me see if I get that straight. So in my head, so landlord your stock, so that's like someone owning your stock and you renting it, sort of like that.
No, it's like you renting the stocks that you own.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Via
you're
a
renting
contract.
your own stocks. Okay.
Very well put. Thank you, Nancy. It's like you renting the stocks that you own via a contract. Okay, so you're giving people permission with this contract to either sell your stocks or, but we do a strategy where it doesn't really happen. They just pay to rent your contracts, basically.
So does that mean you get paid twice?
Yes, it does.
All right, 'cause
Depending
I'm
upon
thinking
how it
in my
is.
head, if you're renting your stocks, you're getting paid twice. Right?
Correct.
Love
Correct.
it. Love that.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's a way to actually get paid 3 times if it's set up correctly. But a lot of people like the security of their ownership. And oftentimes we can do this with stocks they already have from their 401k if they have access to it, or employee stock purchase plans, because obviously it takes money to make money.
Right.
But there are some advantages in investing in real estate in the stock market, including, the entry point, but also the eligibility and accessibility.
Right.
When you decide to start investing in the stock market, there's no one there to discriminate against you. There's no one there to judge you based on your credit, right?
Right, because I know, based on the fact that you only have $100 or $500 to come in.
Correct.
Right, and then you're coming in with what you're coming in with, knowing
What you're
that-
comfortable with.
Right, what you're
Yeah.
comfortable, and it's not so there's a lot of changes in the whole investment game than it was years ago, because remember, you had to be what they call it, you had to be an accredited investor before you can do certain things. And then a number of people came along, people like Grant Cardone, and changed that for the little people, meaning that you can't go and buy a 500 unit building, but if you put your money together with Grant
Your
Cardone's
joint ventures,
money,
correct,
you're
and
able to
syndications.
say, I'm a part owner of a 500 unit building. And so they started letting unaccredited investors in. And I think a lot of people don't know or understand how that works. And it's for long-term investment. And I think that what you're doing, because you're showing people, a lot of veterans, but you're showing other people how to landlord your stocks and how to purchase cash flowing or stocks that are giving dividends, because those are the ones you want. So tell me, how do you do this research? Do you still teach people? Do you have groups? Do you have workshops, seminar, webinars? How do I, if I wanted to learn how to landlord my stocks, or how to buy stocks that are cash flowing, that are giving dividends. And do you have a class that you teach, and what are you teaching me?
We have actually an entire community um, for philanthropic purposes and for charitable purposes. I still do the program for the vets, but I've also with other nonprofit organizations, financial literacy organizations, they have my courses as well. I developed a course upon a request, and then we have our other private group. Um, it's www.cashflowstocks.com, where we meet weekly and we discuss something differently, from the beginning to from people starting out to people understanding how to trade options. And we do research typically the Sunday before the week begins. And we try not to get trendy, because I noticed that with trends, I mean, if you know what you're doing, you can definitely jump on a trend and
Right, on the
make
trend,
money.
right.
But the foundation is
Yeah.
important, and a lot of people like to get in and GameStop really quick.
Right.
But
The trends are
understanding,
volatile.
yes, understanding the fundamentals are very, very important. So we discuss the fundamentals. We do calls weekly for about an hour, 2 hours. If it's options, we dive deeper. But I also have an ebook that gets you started. Like if you want to set it up to where you get paid every month of the year through cash flow, it shows you how to find those particular stocks that you like, that you support, and whether or not how to see whether or not they pay a dividend, when they pay a dividend, so that we created a calendar where it shows you, once you plug it in, it'll show you how you get paid every single month.
So
But you
here's
need
my
at least 3
question.
different stocks.
Are those the cashflowstocks.com, that private community, is it a free community? How much
That's
does it
not a
cost?
free that's not a
Okay.
free community. It's a monthly membership. But we also have one-offs on there, like the ebook, where you can, scroll through, and it teaches you how to break down stock summary, how to find the dividend, how to find the exit. So that's the ebook. That's a one-off. Another one-off is a beginner's course that's located inside of on the website as well. And 2 additional courses will be added, which we do live, because those, I love when people have those questions that you might not necessarily get on a course. Your question, everybody's questions are totally different, but we have, I will be dropping those courses because they're on other platforms. So we'll drop them on the website, where it teaches you a little bit about charting. And then we can do advanced charting as well as stock options, and how exactly we rinse and repeat and we landlord our stocks.
Right. So basically, if someone is interested in finding out how to get cash flowing stocks, how to landlord their stocks, how to start to get into the stock market game, they can just go to cashflowstocks.com, and you can get your ebook there, or your beginner's course. You can schedule meetings with you. They can just, that's where they go, and they will get everything they need
Correct.
to start that journey with the stocks.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, I understand that this is you in addition to your other business, this is what you do to make money. So you know what you're doing. So anyone, if you're looking to start that journey, I have to tell you, the information is everything, because I remember when the real estate market crashed. I've been a realtor for 27 years, and when the real estate market jumped off the cliff in 2008 and dragged me with it, and I lost all my properties I had at the time, I did not have, I had a lot of stocks, and I did not have the information that I have now. Because if I had the information then, what I have now, I wouldn't have sold my 300 Facebook shares. I had to
Wow.
live, so I sold it, right? See, and this is what I say when people say what you don't know won't hurt you. I think that is one of the biggest lies ever told,
I
because
agree.
what you don't know really does hurt you, because I didn't know I could have borrowed against my 300 shares, which means I
Correct.
would still have it
Absolutely.
now. I bought it at $32 a share,
Oh my
sold
gosh.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it was a fun time for the community and I in 2020. We really made some significant traction in 2020 because there was a like a recoil in the market. So the market dipped and then just exploded. And
Exactly.
if you bought the dip, you know,
Mhm.
it was comparable to the 2020, the 2000
Right, and that's
retraction.
when I learned, because that was during COVID, and everybody's at home, and that's when I learned, and I got back some of it, but that's when I learned.
It's
Oh my
good.
God, you could buy on the margin, because I was able to buy stock on the margin. I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me? But I was at home, everybody was at home, and I had said, if you went into COVID and you came out of COVID the same way you went into COVID, shame on you. Because I took that time to learn, right,
Hmm.
about trading so I could go back and get me some money. I learned about
Hmm.
trading. I learned I can trade on margins. I learned I could borrow money. I mean, and I did all this. And this is the information. Had I had that in 2008, 9, I'd still have my Facebook stocks, right? Which is
Yeah.
like, God knows what the price. I don't even want to know what the price is right now. Okay, I don't want to know. I
It's
don't want to know.
actually meta now.
I don't want to know. Right. I don't want to know. But what I'm saying is, if you're listening to this or watching this, and you're thinking, I have a little, but I want to jump in. And you could jump in at any point. The only time you lose, I think, is when you don't make a move, when you don't action, when you don't jump in, and then when you sell. Because otherwise, you're losing on paper, right? And because the stock market will always come back if you have the staying power, right? It'll come back, but you have to put money in the stock market that you know that you're not going to lose your mind if you lost that money, right?
Correct. And
And there are
yeah,
other, I mean, so, and there's the real estate. So you have the stock market where Jennifer can teach you how to buy cash flowing stocks that give dividends. And not all stocks do that. But I know for sure Mercedes Benz does that, because I have Mercedes stock. They do have dividends, and some other companies. But she can teach you how to find these stocks, how to move, what to look for, how to get, when to get out. And you can get started 2024. Every year you're saying, this is going to be my best year ever, but you're doing the same thing that you did the year before and you didn't make any changes. So how is this going to be your best year ever if you're not making any changes? Right?
action is important, but you don't have to jump in being super confident. You just have to take action. 2020 was difficult for a lot of people. So everybody who survived that to this day, in my opinion, is um, better for
Yeah.
it. To be
Yeah.
honest, everyone who's here is better for it, and I feel like it really aligned a lot of people's interest in their purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, I'm glad we were actively doing it during that time. We still are. And again, there's no biases in the stock market.
Right.
There's no qualifications in the stock
Right.
market. And it's good to start. I always say invest with what you know, even in real
Right.
estate. We were just discussing an acquisition of something yesterday. And after the call, one of the investors wanted to know, so how do we know if this is right?
Mm.
And the three rules I go into when I'm investing, no matter what it is what am I investing in? Do I understand what this vehicle that I am putting my money into, like, do I like grasp what it is? And then I ask how much money and how my money generates money. Like, if I understand the money engine of this investment vehicle, even if it's a real estate property, oh, you're investing in the construction of this. And after the construction and after all the loan payouts, then you'll get back your principal and a premium. Or am I investing in this multifamily and I'm getting my money back via cash flow from rents? In the stock market, if I'm investing in 100 shares of Amazon, am I getting my money back from the growth of Amazon because we know what Amazon does? Or am I getting my money back trading options weekly, every week on it? So you first need to understand what it is you're investing in, no matter what it is. Have a concept of what this vehicle is and how this investment makes money. Like, understand how it makes money. The next thing you ask is, how much money am I putting into it? And how much money is it getting out, right? And then the third thing you ask is, when do I get my money back? So in the stock market, that could be what I call a stock plan, or what we call a stock plan. Like, when we sit someone down and they want to free up one of their bills. You're tired of paying your cell phone bill? Let's invest this money into your T-Mobile, into your AT&T rather. Let's invest this money into AT&T, cash flow it so that it pays your bill, so you don't have to worry about that bill. Have a plan in mind, but see the end at the beginning. And if you can't see the end at the beginning, there's some more work to be done, or that may not be a good investment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
That is
three
good.
things: know what you're investing in, know how much money you're investing
Willing
and
to,
getting back, and then understand when you're going to get your money back
right.
and how you get that money.
And so with the stock, so if you are someone that is someone that that you might need your money in a month or less than a
That's
month,
the
whatever,
best thing about the stock market is liquidity. You
it's
can
the
get it.
best thing
There's
to
no
do that.
closing date.
Right.
There's no lawyers
Any
involved.
day, every day, you do
Any
it
day, every
yourself.
day. Some brokerages have a 2 to 3 days turnaround. Some brokerages, depending on your relationship with them, you can cash out instantly. And it's,
You see
again,
your
like a
account the
low.
same day or the next day.
Correct. So
Yeah.
the low entry point, or the unbiased entry point, the unbiased accessibility, you can do it from anywhere at any time. And as well, like, you don't have to go into a building and invest in the stock market, right?
Right.
As well
You can
as,
do
and
it
then
from
the
your phone, you can
liquidity.
do it from your computer. So basically, if you're looking to start investing now and would like to have access possibly to your money, then stocks is where you should be. That's where you should get started. Now, you're looking to invest in real estate, you have to know that it's not as liquid as the stock market. Even if you're doing fix and flips, right? Because you still have to fix it and then flip it, right? So you got to do the fix up, which can take 3 to 6 months. Sometimes it takes 9 months or a year, depending on weather, depending on permit situation, depending on cash flow for you to do what you
Yeah.
need to do to fix it up. So that is a good 6 to 9 month situation. So if you can't wait that time, then fix and flip is not for you, right?
Yeah. It's
If you're
also
looking
not passive unless you're partnered with someone
on
who's doing everything.
exactly. And then there is the hold and passive income where you buy either a house, a condo, or a multifamily unit, and you get a check every month for your so you can do what you want to do with that. Now, that for me is one of the best ways because this is a passive income. You're not doing work in it because you do something once. You bought the building, right? You bought it once, then people, please hire a property manager.
Property managers.
I'm just saying, hire a property
That's how
manager.
you make it passive.
This is truly passive if you have a property manager. You hire a property manager, you sleep, you vacation, a check is in your account every month by the 10th of the month, depending how your property manager work it, right? So that you can pay your mortgage if you have a mortgage before the 15th, because you're not late until you pay it on the 15th, right? So this is what I am going to give to you today. If you are looking to start to that investment journey, whether it's in the stock market, if it's in the stock market, go directly to cashflowstocks.com and schedule a meeting with Jennifer so you guys can discuss how you can get started. If you're looking to invest in the real estate industry in any state, USA, then you can reach out to me. Go to my website, thealertfactor.com, and click book now and book a 30 minutes free consultation with me so we can talk about that. We didn't go into this a lot, but this is another way you can make money, you can leverage, and you can do other things. It's insurance products, life insurance products. This is a way you can truly protect your investment and leverage it to borrow money, to buy properties, to take a vacation if you want, send your kids to college, anything that you want to do. If you're looking to find out how you can leverage life insurance products and how you can buy multifamily units, just go to my website, thealertfactor.com, and book an appointment with me. I am so excited you were able to spend this time with me today. So other than the cashflowstocks.com, is there an email or a phone number, or just send them there and they'll find you? Is that the people find you if they want to find you to take one of your courses, buy your ebook, etc.?
Yes. So you can go to www.cash-flow-stocks.com
Oh, so that's, say that
or
again. That's what it is. Say it again.
www.cash-flow-stocks.com.
All right.
You can
There you-
also reach out for any small business services, and to segue over to that as well,
Mhm.
via www.enrich, mint.com. So
All right.
mint, like a minted
Like a
coin.
mint,
So
like
the
a fresh
enrichment,
mint.
yes, theenrichment.com, or at the enrichment on Instagram.
All right.
So look for us there. We're here to help. The starting journey can be a bit treacherous if you don't have direction, but thank goodness Nancy has things like this to help you along your way. I really enjoyed my time today. Thank you for having me, Nancy.
I did too. I enjoy it, and we're thankful for all the information you provided to us. So remember, if you're looking to get started in the stock market, just go to cash-flow-stocks.com. Or the enrichment, mint.com, and you'll be able to communicate with Jennifer. And to book any time with me, ask me any real estate or life insurance questions, you can just go to thealertfactor.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you very much for watching and listening to the show today. We will be back next Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will continue this investment conversation so that you guys can be ready for 2024. Thank you and have a wonderful weekend.